students. I welcome you all to our 12th standard general maths video class. In this class we are going to learn a new topic. I hope you are all good and safe. Last class we have learned some problems from the exercise 3.1. Today we are going to learn some problems and some concepts, theorems from the exercise to 3.2. Now look at a book, page number 107. For a quadratic equation with real coefficients, if alpha plus I beta is a root, then alpha minus I beta is also root. For a quadratic equation with real coefficients, if alpha plus I beta is a root, then alpha minus I beta is also root. In this we are going to see proof for this result. Theorem 3.2. Theorem 3.2, complex conjugate root theorem. If a complex number z0 is a real root of a polynomial equation with real coefficient, then its complex conjugate z0 bar is also a root. Now we are going to see proof for this theorem. First I am going to take the polynomial p of x as, first I am going to take theorem 3.2. First I am going to take the theorem p of x as, let p of x equal to an x power n plus an minus 1 x power n minus 1 plus an minus 2 x power n minus 2 plus etc. plus a1 n x power 1 plus a naught. Now we got our polynomial p of x. Now we are going to take z0 as a root. Now we are going to take z0 as a root. Then p of z0 equal to 0. As we already know, if x equal to 2, then p of 2 must be equal to 0. If x equal to 2, then p of 2 must be equal to 0. Similarly, if z0 is a root, then p of z0 must be equal to 0. Now I am going to find p of z0 bar. This is equal to. Now what I am going to do? Now I am going to substitute x as z0 bar, because here our root is z0 bar. So I am going to substitute x as z0 bar in the p of x. So a n x power n. Instead of x I am going to put z0 bar power n plus a n minus 1 into x. Instead of x I am going to put z0 bar power n minus 1 plus etc. plus a 1 x z0 bar plus a naught. Then what would be the next step? Now I am going to use one property. Now I am going to use one property on conjugate complex. What is that? Z power n conjugate equal to z conjugate whole power n. By using this property of a complex, now I am going to rewrite this as a n z0 power n whole bar plus a n minus 1 z0 power n minus 1 whole bar plus etc. plus a1 z 0 bar plus A naught. As we know, AR is equal to AR conjugate for any real numbers. So by using this, I am going to write AN as AN bar into Z0 bar n whole bar plus similarly AN minus 1 bar into Z0 bar n minus 1 bar plus etc. plus A1 bar Z0 bar plus A0 bar. Here look at these two terms. Here we are having conjugate on both terms. So I am going to write the conjugate as common. So AN into Z0 bar n whole bar plus AN minus 1 into Z0 bar n minus 1 whole bar plus etc. plus A1 Z0 whole bar plus A naught bar. Now look at all the terms. Here we are having conjugate on all the terms. So I am going to write the conjugate as a same. AN Z0 bar n plus AN minus 1 Z0 n minus 1 plus etc. plus A1 Z0 plus A0 whole bar. This is nothing but P of Z0 whole bar. So this is equal to, we got our P of Z as 0. So now I am going to put P of Z0 as 0 bar. So this is nothing but 0. Now we got our P of Z0 bar as 0. So we can conclude that Z0 bar is also a root. We have proved our theorem. If I have 3 plus 2i as a root, then by using this theorem we can write 3 minus 2i is also root. Suppose if I have 5 plus 7i, then by using this theorem we can conclude 5 minus 7i is also root for the polynomial. Then 5 plus 20i, then 5 minus 20i is also root. Suppose if I have minus 1 minus I, then minus 1 plus I is also root for the polynomial. This theorem is only applicable when the complex number is of the form. This theorem is only applicable when the complex number is of the form alpha plus beta I where beta not equal 0. This is a very important one. This theorem is only applicable if the complex number is of the form alpha plus beta I where beta not equal to 0. Suppose if I have 2 plus 0i. Here our beta is 0. So here we can apply the theorem. Here we can conclude 2 minus 0i is also true. Suppose if I have 0 plus 2i. Here our beta is a non-zero one. So here we can conclude 0 minus 2i is also a root. So then irrational roots let us consider quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Here a, b, c are rational numbers. Here for this quadratic equation there will be two roots. Now I am going to take the two roots as r1 and r2. As we know the discriminants equal to, as usual I am going to take discriminant as b square minus 4ac. By using this formula we will get two type of discriminant value. Here we will have two cases. When discriminant equal to 0, then the roots are real and distinct. If second one, if discriminant is greater than 0, that is if the discriminant is positive, then there are two cases. If square root of discriminant is rational, then r1 and r2 are rational. If square root of discriminant is irrational, then r1 and r2 are irrational numbers. See, look at the book, page number 109. There is one theorem. We will see the statement alone. We will see the proof later. If p and q be rational numbers such that root q is irrational, if p plus root q is the root of a quadratic equation with real coefficients, rational coefficient, then p minus root q is also a root of the same equation. Suppose if I have root of the form p plus root q, then p minus root q is also root. If p plus root q is a root, then p minus root q is also root. By using the theorem 3.3. But this is not true for all the polynomial equations with the rational coefficients. Then look at the theorem 3.4. Here we don't have any proof. We are going to see the results alone. We are going to see the statement alone. Let p and q be rational numbers so that root p and root q are irrational numbers. Further, let one of root p and root q be not a rational multiple of the other. If root p plus root q is the root of the polynomial equation with rational coefficients, then root p minus root q minus root p plus root q and minus root p minus root q are also root of the same polynomial equations. If I have, by using this, root p plus root q is a root, then root p minus root q, then minus root p plus root q minus root p minus root q are all roots for the polynomial. By using these theorem, we are going to do some problems from the exercise 3.2. Look at your book, exercise 3.2. Exercise 3.2, problem number 2. Find a polynomial equation of minimum degree with rational coefficients having 2 plus root 3i as a root. Find a polynomial equation of minimum degree with rational coefficients having 2 plus root 3i as a root. Here we are going to find a polynomial equation of minimum degree with the rational coefficient. For that, what are given? Exercise 3.2. Problem number 2. Here we are going to find a quadratic equation of minimum degree with the rational coefficients. For that, what are given? Here 2 plus root 3i is a root. 2 plus root 3i is a root. Then by using the theorem 3.2, we can write 3 minus root 3i is also root. Here we are having two roots. So for two roots we can write quadratic polynomial or quadratic equation. So here we are going to write a quadratic equation. As we know, the general form of a quadratic equation is x square minus sum of roots into x plus product of roots equal to 0. So if you want to find a quadratic equation, you should know the sum of the roots as well as the product of the roots. So first I am going to find sum of the roots as well as product of the roots. Here we are having two roots alone. So for a two roots we can write a quadratic equation. With the help of two roots we can write the quadratic equation. So here we are going to write a quadratic equation. If you want to write a quadratic equation, you should know the sum of roots and product of the roots. Now I am going to find sum of roots. Here our roots are 2 plus root 3i and 2 minus root 3i. I am going to find sum. So 2 plus root 3i plus 2 minus root 3i. Here our plus root 3i and minus root 3i will get cancelled. So what's the remaining? 2 plus 2, 4. Now I am going to find a product of the roots. 2 plus root 3i into 2 minus root 3i. So look at this. This is in the form of a plus b into a minus b. So I am going to use the identity a plus b into a minus b equal to a square minus b square. So here our a is 2, b is root 3i. So 2 square minus root 3i whole square. So this is equal to 4 minus here our product of the roots is 7. So now I am going to write the required quadratic equation. The required equation is x square minus sum of x plus product of the roots equal to 0. Now I am going to substitute the sum of the roots and product of the roots over here. So x square minus sum. What's the sum? 4 into x plus product. What's our product? 7 equal to 0 is the required equation. Now look at the third one. Find a polynomial equation of minimum degree with rational coefficients having 2i plus 3 as a root. Here also we are going to do the same thing. Here we are having 2i plus 3 as a root. Here also we are going to find quadratic equation of minimum degree with the rational coefficients. For that, what's the given? 2i given, this is our third sum, given 2i plus 3 is the root. Here I am going to rewrite this as 3 plus 2i is the root. By using the theorem, 3 minus 2i is also a root. Here we are having two roots. With the help of two roots, we can write a quadratic equation. For a quadratic equation, we should know the sum of the roots as well as the product of the roots. First, I am going to write sum and as well as product. First, I am going to write sum 3 plus 2i plus 3 minus 2i. Plus 2i minus 2i will get cancelled. The next step would be 6. Our sum of the roots is 6. Now I am going to find product of the roots. 3 plus 2i into 3 minus 2i. Here this is in the form of a plus b into a minus b. So I am going to use the identity. So the next step would be 3 square minus 2i whole square. So the next step would be 9 minus 4 into minus 1. 2 square is 4, I square is minus 1. So minus into minus plus. So 9 plus 4, that is 13. Here our sum is 6, product is 13. Now I am going to write the quadratic equation. That is our required equation is x square minus sum of roots into x plus product equal to 0. So x square minus sum. What's the sum? 6. Instead of sum, I am going to put 6 into x plus instead of product, I am going to put 13. That's it. We got our required equation. X square minus 6x plus 13 equal to 0. Problem number 4. Find a polynomial equation of minimum degree with the rational coefficients having root 5 minus root 3 as a root. Here also we are going to write the polynomial equations. For that, what's are given? Root 5 minus root 3 is a root. By using the theorem 3.4, I am going to write some other roots for this polynomial equations. Root 5 plus root 3 will be the root. There will be two more roots. Minus root 5 minus root 3 minus root 5 plus root 3. These are all roots of the required equation. Now I am going to take first two roots. By using these two roots, we can write a quadratic equation. After that, we can take the remaining two. With that, we can write one more quadratic equation. Then we will multiply both the quadratic equation. We will get the required result. First, I am going to take these two. By using these two, we can write a quadratic equation. First, I am going to consider root 5 minus root 3 and root 5 plus root 3. Now, I am going to find sum root 5 minus root 3 plus root 5 plus root 3. These two will get cancelled. What's the remaining? Here we are having root 5 plus root 5. That is 2 root 5. Then we are going to find product of the roots. Root 5 minus root 3 into root 5 plus root 3. Here, this is in the okay, now we are going to find product of the roots. This is in the form of a plus b into a minus b. So I am going to use the identity. So it will be a square minus b square. So this is equal to 5 minus 3. So our product of the root is 2. Now we are going to write a quadratic polynomial. So the required equation or the quadratic equation is x square minus sum of the roots. What's our sum of the roots? 2 root 5x plus product of the roots 2 equal to 0. We got our first quadratic equation as x square minus 2 root 5x plus 2 equal to 0. Now I am going to take the remaining two roots. With the help of these two, I am going to write one more quadratic equation. So similarly, we are going to find sum of the roots as well as product of the roots. By using the result, we can write the second equation. Now I am going to take these two roots. For these two, sum equal to these two terms will get cancelled. Here we are having minus root 5 minus root 5. It will become minus 2 root 5. Then product of the roots minus root 5 minus root 3 into minus root 5 plus root 3. From this we can take minus as common, so minus into root 5 plus root 3 into minus root 5 plus root 3. Now these two are in the form of a plus b into a minus b. Here our a is root 5, b is, here our a is root 3 and b is root 5. So minus into a square minus b square. This would be minus 3 minus 5. This is equal to minus into minus 2. This will become 2. So the quadratic equation is x square minus sum of the roots. Here we are having one minus, no, so it will become plus. So 2 root 5 into x. Here we are having plus 2 equal to 0. Here we got one more quadratic equation, x square plus 2 root 5x plus 2 equal to 0. Now, by multiplying these two quadratic equations, we will get the required equation. Now, we are going to multiply these two equations. First, I am going to take x square minus 2 root 5x plus 2 into x square plus 2 root 5x plus 2 equal to 0. Now I am going to multiply these two. Now I am going to rewrite this as, now I am going to interchange these two as well as these two. X square plus 2 minus 2 root 5x. Here x square plus 2 root 5x equal to 0. Now I am going to take this term as a, this term as b. Similarly a, b. So this is in the form of a plus b into a minus b. So I am going to use same identity, a plus b into a minus b equal to a square minus b square. By using that, a square minus b square equal to 0. Now look at this. This is in the form of a plus b whole square form. A square plus 2ab plus b square minus 2 square is 4 into root 5 square is 5 into x square equal to 0. Now x square whole square is x power 4 plus 2 2s are 4, 4x square plus 4 minus 4 5s are 20x square equal to 0. Now here we are having only one x power 4 term, so x power 4. Here we are having 2x square term, 4 minus 20 minus 16x square plus 4 equal to 0 is the required equation. Now look at the fifth one. Prove that a straight line and a parabola cannot intersect at more than 2 times. Here we are going to prove a straight line and a parabola cannot intersect at more than 2 points. Parabola and a straight line can intersect more than at 2 times. This is very important one. So look at the board carefully. Here we are going to prove straight line and parabola cannot intersect at more than 2 times. First I am going to take a general equation of a straight line, y equal to mx plus c. We can consider this as equation number 1. Now I am going to take the general equation of a parabola. y square equal to 4ax. We can consider this as equation number 2. Now we are going to prove these two are intersecting only at 2 times. Okay, now I'm going to substitute equation 1 in equation 2. Now I'm going to substitute equation 1. Substitute equation 1 in equation 2. That is, I'm going to substitute y as mx plus c in equation number 2. Now I'm going to substitute y as mx plus c in equation number 2. So 2 becomes mx plus c whole square. Here we are having y square. Instead of y, I am going to put mx plus c. So mx plus c whole square equal to 4ax. This is the form of a plus b whole square form. So a square plus 2 into a into b plus b square equal to 4ax. Now a square plus 2mxc plus c square minus 4ax equal to 0. Now here we can write it as same, mx whole square plus, look at these two terms, from these two we can take x as a common. We have 2mc minus 4a plus c square equal to 0, which is a quadratic equation. This quadratic equation cannot have more than 2 solutions. As we know, this quadratic equation cannot have more than 2 solutions. So however, a straight line and a parabola cannot intersect at more than 2 times. Listen carefully. As we know, this is a quadratic equation. As we know, for a quadratic equation, there will be only 2 solutions. So we can conclude that a straight line and a parabola cannot intersect at more than 2 times. Now we are going to do the first one. Look at the first problem. First problem, if k is real, discuss the nature of the roots of the polynomial equation 2x square plus kx plus k equal to 0 in terms of k. Here we are going to discuss the nature of the roots. We already learned this type of problems in your 10th as well as 11th standard. So we are going to do the same thing. First we are going to write the given equation 2x square plus kx plus k equal to 0. Here we are going to write the value of a, b, c by comparing this equation with the general form of a quadratic equation. So our a is the coefficient of x square. So here our a is 2, b is k and c is also k. If you want to discuss or if you want to find the nature of the roots, we should find the discriminant value. Discriminant equal to b square minus 4ac. This is equal to b square. What's our b square? K square minus 4 into a. What's our a? 2 into c. Now k square minus 8k. Now we are going to find 0 by equating this discriminant with 0. So k square minus 8k equal to 0. Here we can take k as a common root. So k into k minus 8 equal to 0. So the k is 0 or k equal to 8. Here our k values are 0 and 8. Now I am going to take a number line. Number line, here it will have minus infinity, here we will have plus infinity, 0, 8. Now I am going to take one value from this interval and we'll have one more value from this. Then we can take these two values. Here I'm going to take k as minus 1. K equal to minus 1. What will happen? K into k minus 8 equal to. Now I'm going to substitute k as minus 1 in this. So minus 1 into minus 9. This is equal to plus 9, which is greater than 0. So if k equal to minus 1, k into k minus 8 is greater than 0. Then now I'm going to take k as 0. K equal to 0. What will happen? K into k minus 8 equal to 0. Now I'm going to take k as 8. 8 into 8 minus 8. So this will become 0. Then third one. Now I'm going to take one value from this. I'm going to take k as 9. So what will happen? 9 into 1. So this is equal to 9. So k into k minus 8 is greater than 0. So here we are having four cases. When k is less than 0, our determinant is greater than 0. So it has real roots. Then when k equal to 0 and k equal to 8, our roots are real and equal. Since our discriminant is 0. Then third one, when k is greater than 0, our discriminant is also greater than 0. Then the roots are real and distinct. When k is greater than 8, our discriminant is greater than 0. So our roots are real and distinct. If I take any value between this interval 0, between 0 and 8, what will happen? There will be one more case. If I take any value between these two values, what will happen? I'm going to take k as 1. So what will be our discriminant? Discriminant k into k minus 8 equal to, now I'm going to put k as 1 in this, 1 into minus 7. So this is less than 0. So here our roots are imaginary. So here we got 4 results. When k equal to minus 1, our discriminant is greater than 0. So our roots are real and distinct. Here our discriminant is 0. Here our discriminant 0. When I take k as 0 and 8, so our roots are real and equal. Now I'm going to take any values between these two. 8 and infinity, our discriminant is greater than 0. So our roots are real and distinct. Now I'm going to take any value between these two, or I'm going to take any value in this interval. Our discriminant is less than 0, so our roots are imaginary.